Right, I'm just trying to get some bits of wood cut, and I'm sort of making this up as I go along because, as ever, as any van, it's not straight. And also, I'm not very good at, I haven't got the workbenches to hold things together or somebody hold it, so I've had a bit of fun having to hold it with one screw, then drill with two more, and it's not exactly straight, but we're getting there. So that's the frame for the door. I've just done as an overhead there. I was going to go all the way across, but I can't like move in here to get things up and down, so I need to manage to get that back in. So that's my frame. Now we've got another leg to go down here. I'm now going to make, it's not all screwed or anything, it's not attached to the wall or anything, that's David's job, because obviously I've got to leave a bit of a gap to actually have a frame here, and we've got to want to sort of screw it onto here rather than into the metal. So I'm just started putting spacers in at the moment, and also we don't want it getting damp either. So I'm just trying to figure out how where it can sit. So you can see that just goes along there. Then this bit, this one comes down here, and it stands on another piece that goes across there from when I'm building the desk. So it'd be attached to the desk bit or whatever, no, attached to a foot, and then I'd be putting the desk on top of that foot. So now I'm going to just make a square to go in here, and again it's sort of not straight, but if I can just get a square and wedge that in, then at least I have a framework and decide how to attach it later. See how we go. See if I just screw the square to that bit and then to the floor here and to this upright here, that should be stable enough, and not actually worrying about screwing it up here or down that side, just to hold it in place to see how it works. Fingers crossed. At the moment, as you can see, there's room for the wheel there, there's room for the wheel to come out of the door, and my issue is I've got to make sure I can have a door on this to come off it, because that can obviously always be done on the outside of this or whatever. That's only just enough space to actually get the wheel in and out of there. And obviously this is all going to be covered and tidied and everything. I don't want to be in the way of cladding or anything like that, so I want to just stay just off things as well at the moment, so we can come down to it and then clad over the wood or paint it or whatever. As you can see what the idea is here, so I'm going to try and make this other side now. Right, so I haven't got much wood left. I want to try and get this little bit of work surface framework in. So I've got enough there to do this bit. Like I say, this has got to stop there because that's going to be, all this has got to be clad and torn down and sort of everything's on it, leave that to work over the top of it. But I need to make a little work surface there, so I'm hoping I've got enough offcuts to make that. But as you can see, this is looking lovely. And then we'll have the same sort of wood frame this side, and that will allow me to have like a stable door or something that I can fully protect the cats from sort of coming in and out of here, but also have it open for people to come out to view without coming up the steps without actually going past it. It also means obviously if I have a door in here and this is enclosed and that door shut, the cats can come in and out and go outside without getting hurt by the cooking or the log burner that's going to be here eventually. So we have a safe space for that. And obviously it also means that as and when I manage to get some sort of hole in through there, so I want to have like a cat flap escape route, so I don't have to have these doors open in the winter. I could just have an open hole there, like with a trap door on, that I can lift out. The cats go down under the van and out and come in under the van, and then come in through this door, which can be opened for them. I may even have a cat flap or a cat hole in the bottom of this one. There might be enough room to have a cat flap in there as well, that they can go in and up round the back and in through the hole and in through if that door shut. So that's some warmth being kept in. Now obviously you can see I've stopped at this height, so I've got to get the ceiling clad and insulated, and then we'll make some sort of little another little window frame just to box that in when that's done. So we've got plenty of space there to work on, and they can still see through that when they're in the bed, and hopefully they can still see it down through the window from there as well. So that's a nice height, and that's obviously keeping it all the same height together. So that's wedged in, it's not screwed at all, just wedged in to hold itself in place. So even the frame's not even screwed together at the moment, because I'm just going to leave it because I'm struggling with to bring that together, and Dave would probably do it a lot better. And if I can find one of those screw things that go in at an angle like that, I want to have one of those machines, and obviously all this can then be screwed together nicely and be easily dismantleable in the future if anything happens to Hope. I say the issue was we wanted to make sure this wheel came out. Obviously it can't come out this side with the frame on it, but with the door here, so I'm hoping there's enough space to roll it forward I'm hoping that's 4 foot there. Just roll it forward and get it out. It's got to make sure I don't build anything in this bit here, so I can still get the wheel out to clean it. And then obviously if it's wobbles when we're moving along, it's not going to go far, it's just going to hit amongst the sides and fall back in place, and the feet stays, we'll keep it where it is. And the wheel out of there, you can just about get in there to do any cleaning as well. The wheel's out, obviously I've got enough space to get in to clean that floor. So I think I've covered all angles there. What are you two doing up there, hey? Is that good? Let me making your space for you, hey? You go walking on that, it'll fall down. I'll get David. Oh, look at you two fighting over the beds. Be nice. Spirit, stop you share nicely. Spirit, good girl, Chief. You gonna go on the wheel? Now you've got to figure out if she can get down the back. Get in the wheel, but obviously we'll have to have this door open here. What are you doing? We've got to figure out where we can get you in, haven't we? And it's all framed in. Oh, is that good, my darlings? Is that good? Right, so just doing the 3 foot by 18 2 end squares to do the additional kitchen table bit, and then I do a top work surface all the way across the top and little legs on top of the table. Then I can replace all that later if need be by doing this separately this way around. All done by Hansel, no machines here. Right, so I'm now trying to make the framework just for this side. Now I appreciate it's like 3 foot high, and I haven't taken into account the work surface that's going on top, which I can make do with a bit of ply or something for now. But obviously I can always shorten the legs later, but I'm trying to make it so there's space to have the cooker in. So there's going to be a shelf across the top of here, and it's got to be high enough that a fridge can go underneath it as well. So obviously to go in the shelf to slide all the cooker and the what's it always called, the electric hob thing, into the top bit. So there's going to be a shelf there, and then I say still got enough height for the fridge. You know, I'm fine with that height regarding cooking nets. I've got a bad back, so the straighter I can be rather than bent over the better anyway, and if the top's on there. And then what I'll do obviously is I'll have another piece of board here, and the washing up bowl will be sunk down into that bit, so I'll be able to stand here and actually wash my hair and things in that washing up bowl, and it'd be contained in the hole in the work surface. But obviously that would be a separate bit of work surface. We'll have a bit going away across there so it doesn't get ruined, so it's strong enough to put the wood burner on. But then this bit here we'll have for the washing up bowl will be cut out, and then obviously if we change that to a different sink or something later, then obviously that bit of wood can be changed over. But I'm just having a right pain because all my drill bits are screwed up and I can't get the screws in properly, so I'm just literally drilling the holes as far as I can go, putting the screw in, which, you know, it's not secure but it's going to peg it together, which is fine, and it'll hold it in place absolutely fine for now. You know, it's a temporary thing, so well, I say temporary, it's going to last a while, but you know, it's going to be redone into a complete new kitchen when it can be afforded to be done properly. But yeah, I've just got to do another one of them now, and then I can find a bit of board to go on top, a bit of ply or something to go on top. Then I'll have another bit of work surface to work with and see how that goes. It's really annoying not having the right tools. I mean, my head's capable of doing things and working out how everything's done, but we haven't got the toolkit to sort of follow it through. It's a real pain in the bum, but you know, I'm doing my best with what I've got. David is very aware I'm doing this now, and I've seen it on Facebook, and he'll come along and hopefully, you know, sort things out for me. Okay, so I'm stopping now. Excuse what this looks like, but I obviously don't want to put any woodle bits in here that are wrong, that are best, because I'm just putting some scrap bits just to lean it in, to see if this is actually too high or not, and to test out the working space obviously before I carry on the build. And obviously I've got a clad behind there and insulate, so nothing's fixed or anything yet. Obviously these are just balanced in there. This is part of the horse box from before, but it's got a drop down tabletop thing, so it's giving me that gap to allow me to just bring this out far enough. this is, I mean, this, it didn't work out. I was doing 18, but then of course I put the CSL on the end, so it's more like 21.5, and then on top of the 21.5 would be like the 1/2 inch insulation as well, so it's more like 22 out. But actually this allows me to miss this cupboard, because this will go up, this will go more against the wall later, so I've got room for electrical sockets and things here. But in with this now, I can still reach the window to open it. You can obviously imagine now that whole section there is I need that much space to put the log burner in, so that works fine. So if I lose all that to log burner, this is where I'm going to have my cooking hob, which will come out. It'll either be the gas or the electric, and that's going to get stored under here, where there's going to be a shelf there to store it under, and that's proving it fits, because obviously I've got the little camping stove under there at the moment, so that's just showing the space I have underneath. So this will be a shelf here, which will do storage all the way around underneath that. And then here, as you can see, the washing up bowl will be sunk into the tabletop, and then also have a lid over the top flush that obviously I can make to actually have a bit of extra work surface there. So this would be work surface, then I can take the lid off, and then I can wash my hair in this, I can wash up in this. Obviously I've got access to go from this side, I've also got access to go from this side, and that actually is the right height, even that high, for me to put my head in and wash my hair and have a wash and everything. So that I think, rather than going that way around, I think we're okay with it going that way around. Like, still gives the space for hanging bits. I mean, I could even leave it so I have one high space and then a step, and then leave a low space, and then just take this on and off for now and not build anything extra onto that. So have it as a board down there to stop that sliding out, which could also be possible. So what I'm going to do at the moment is, these are all falling through, is just play with this space at the moment. Use these little bits. I've just tapped the one little bit on, just that one bit there, but obviously it's still wobbling. It's not supported really. I just want to practice with this space now. So like I say, once I've got the shelf, will be the same height as this pine cabinet at the moment across there. There's still room for the fridge underneath that. I've still got access to get in and out there to put water bottles and things in there, in the cupboard, or have a little door or whatever in there. So I've got to be very careful regarding how much space I've got here to have access underneath the desk there. The alternative to that obviously is to leave that space there for access from the outside and have water tanks and whatever. But at the moment I've got bottles and I've got to use bottles. But obviously we've also got to bear in mind the log burner's got to be fixed onto this bit and be bolted down through. So this, whatever is made here, be bolted to the floor as well. But obviously there's space there for water, and that's, of course, got pots and pans at the moment. But if I'm going to have the cupboard and the fridge, I've got to have access, my hand access in there. Even though I put a little door on there, I've got to be able to have it wide enough that I can bring out those water bottles from there. At the moment I've got my food storage box and plates and things. So I think this is lovely. I think this can go, obviously I couldn't go too high because we're going to have the frame coming across there. That works nicely, and I say obviously I've still got to insulate on here, so I couldn't go too far to the wall, but that will be pushed over a little bit more, so it'll probably be more in flush with the end of the counter, which will, like I say, allow me to have the electrical sockets, because all the electrics are going in next door here, big battery boxes and things, so all the electrical sockets will be through there, and then round the back to be able to have some in the back as well. But as you can see, this would be the idea. So if you imagine, like I say, the counter across there, I like that height, to be fair. I thought I might be going too high by putting that bit of ply on top just to sort of see how high it would be altogether. It's not too high at all. It's still like belly button height for me, and that's save me bending my back. I can cook nicely, open the window, and obviously if the cats do escape into here, they can see out the window as well. And I'm liking that a lot. And if we go down to the steps and see what we're looking at now, so this would be the doorway for the cat room. Still got a nice wide space here, and obviously I've got a bit of bring, my pram's got to travel in there for the cats. I've still got room for the pet pram to travel in there when I'm driving. Got room for the door and the stable door, which will hopefully open out against this door or something. And then that's going to be a nice looking tall kitchen there, as you can see. And like I say, we'll make do with the pine at the moment, but I obviously, in before the log burner that's put in, and when we know what we're doing properly, then that may be replaced and actually have it built properly by some really good carpenter. But like I say, I have to practice this like I've been doing the back. It has to be a make do. Excuse the mess of the towel. So the whole point of this is we've still got the drawers there at the moment. So I've actually still got the little dressing table drawers. And then if I do my little extra bit on top there, then to make the work surface higher, like I say, the space for the washing up bowl and everything. Well, 2 washing up bowls ideally as well. But yeah, there we go. It gives you an idea what I'm working towards. And I think that's going to be really cute. I mean, to be able to see that log burner in that corner there, going up, it's going to be really nice. And obviously I can cook on that as well as it keeping this section nice and warm. And I've got the fiberglass roof, it'll go up, hopefully miss the strut and go behind there and work that out. So that's where we're at. This little shelf, as you see, it fits the cat food sachet absolutely perfectly, and the mugs, and cream and butter and things like that. So that's going to be ideal for the little bit of tin food I do have in the cat food. Really is where I needed to put the cat food somewhere. So this good 3 weeks of cat food I can use as well as having tins and herbs and spices. Still a little bit of space above that one if I need it. But like I say, I'm also thinking about having a little bit of a cat sit on top of there. But we're doing okay. I'm impressed with that, happy with that. And we'll see how things go. Actually, I've just pushed the bowl underneath there, so now I'm actually liking the idea of actually having a 2-tier kitchen top. This looks quite nice. When I'm sat in there, it looks quite good. So like I say, I can store the bowl under there, store the cookers under this shelf here, pull the bowl out when I need to do the washing and things. I don't need it sat within the worktop. I've got a worktop here then. Obviously got the pyrogo there. I can cook on here. I can push everything away into the top shelf when I want to use this as a work surface. I know it's a bit low, but I mean, we'll make do. But we'll see what happens. Or like I say, if I bring the top bit out, then I'm actually going to, well, I'll either bring the top bit out and put the bowl underneath it, but then I'm cutting into a work surface, or I'm just going to leave it as it is. And obviously then I can just sort of put things away, and it looks quite nice as a little 2-tier thing, and then it won't sort of conflict with the new bit of wood that's there, and they'll still have the pine all showing there. So I can actually have a little lift up or a drop down door there to store things behind, stop things falling out. Same with the front bit, I can have a little drop down bit to stop all the cookers falling out, so that could be blocked off so it slides from this end back, and this will be slides from this end back, and then have a bit of storage underneath. Yeah, so I'm actually going with that. Actually, 2-tiered is different, isn't it? And then it obviously allows me to have this hanging space where I put these things here. I can get some utensils, so the dirty utensil, and I have them hanging there. And like I say, that's going to be completely in its own right there, and then obviously this can be replaced or something later. Or like I say, it does tie in with the pine going through. So I think I'm going to leave it at the moment. But I might actually be building it like that and just do the little back bit and have a 2-tier one. I think that ties in a lot nicer actually, and gives it a bit of character. And then I've got 2 working surfaces then for the height that I need to work at, and that works quite nicely. But there we go.